So welcome to the end of the transfer window of season 2047. It's been a mental summer, I'm going to tell you that. What I have also done is I have given our players an identity. I have given our players a face. More of that going forward in this video. Please make sure you do comment below. I just want to remind you guys, because people who are watching now, you are dedicated to this channel. And just remember, every time you like the video but comment below, it tells YouTube that this channel is producing good content. So just comment something below. Ask me a question. I'll answer it in the comments. I always do respond to every single comment best I can. So comment below. So we're going to do the European rankings. Then we're going to jump to the end of the transfer window. Look at the transfers out. Look the transfers in. Then look more in detail at the faces people have got. But we'll do the rankings first. So the league has moved up one place to rank 24th now. We have dropped one place to 41st in the European club rankings. Bit upsetting because we got to the knockout rounds of the Champions League this season. So you'd think we would have boosted up a little bit. But okay. In terms of the coefficient wise, we have dropped to 24th. And we are going to lose this 7.875 as well, which is a bit concerning. So we are going to drop to 18.125, which will drop us starting behind a few nations. So there's a chance we could end up dropping further down here and have to go through that first qualifying round of the Champions League again. But if we can have a good season, you can see last season we got 6.125. If we can do that again, it's not going to drop us back too much. But also, if we can start doing that every year and remove these threes, then we are comfortably up there in the top 20, top 22. So there is progression. We just got to maybe take a step back to then take two forward. So before we go into the transfers, let's look at the Champions League qualifying. I've just made myself a beautiful cafe latte. I think it's cafe latte in English as well, isn't it? I think it is, yeah. I went into my Norwegian speaking and clicked on that. I think it's the exact same word in English. So we're going to get on with this. I've just finished work, alright? So I'm enjoying the coffee as we are talking together. Yeah, professional. Get off the I need a shave before someone comments. So we started with a 2-1 win. Now, bear in mind, this in the second qualifying round of the Champions League. It took us till the 90th minute to score. We scored 2 in extra time with Little Skara and Orlando on the score sheet. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. Now, we did travel away from home and absolutely smashed them. Now, weirdly, this game was obviously on neutral territory because Belarusian sides can't play in Belarus. And we played in Norway, which definitely suited us, shorter trip for us. And we got a 5-0 victory. Mark Quadson, Sturla, Mufasa with 2 and Midskogen on the score sheet. So comfortably then into the third qualifying round. Third qualifying round, we came up against Zelina of Slovakia. Slovenia. I knew it. I sometimes do get Slovenia and Slovakia mixed up. I do apologise. So Mufasa with 4, Mark Quadson with 1, Midskogen with 1, and Hjelle with 3. Saw us put 9 past them in the first leg. 9. Now, the upsetting thing is we then came back to the home ground and could only draw 0-0. But by that point we were through. We did rotate a few people out just to rest a few, but very, very comfortable second leg. So we then came up against Trabzonspor of Turkey in the playoff round, and we basically put this to bed in the first leg with Mishan on the score sheet with 2, Hjelle with 1, Mufasa with 1 and Midskogen with 1. Saw us beat them 5-0 in the first leg. Again coming back to the Faroe Islands, another draw. Mufasa with a penalty for us saw it end 1-1, 6-1 on aggregate. Again we did rest a few people, but again, we slipped up in the second leg at home where yes, the round was put to bed, but I would still like us to keep pushing on and crushing teams. So our Champions League games are going to be Shakhtar at home to start before we go to Holland to play PSV. Then Arsenal come to our home ground before we go away to Lyon. Then away to Red Star Belgrade. at home to Brescia. Then after the winter break, we have Colm away and Real Betis at home. Now, when you look compared to previous seasons, I actually think it's a group of fixtures we can win enough to qualify for the knockouts again. And if we can go to the Champions League knockouts 2 years in a row, I would be delighted. Now, in terms of transfers, we have spent 13.5 million all season, and we have sold 141 million pounds worth of players. 141. Some of them have not been by choice, but we've sold them. So we're going to go through them all here. So since the since the summer window opened and closed, Jamie Allen has left us to go to Portsmouth. 23 years old. We paid nothing for him. Sold him for 2.5 million. It's a nice turnaround of profit. Lewis Dolner, our young right back, we've sold to Tottenham for 29 million plus 50% of next sale. That could be a very nice one. By the way, you can see the region faces have changed massively. The next one then is Nairn Talon. In the last episode, we had a whole conversation about how I had two very solid goalkeepers. Then Leon came in and put in a £5 million bid for him, and he went mental. And then all of my players then were unhappy with my treatment of him because I told him he wasn't going to leave. So we ended up selling our backup goalkeeper for 7 million. Now bear in mind, we brought him back for 2 million. He became our backup keeper, and totaling out was 7 million we've sold him for. Not a bad bit of business there. Where was Nairn Talon then? I've sold that many players, I'm not trying to find out where they are. The next one is Alexandro Silva's gone to Porto for 2.7 million. Signed for 1.4. Had around for a few years. Never actually did anything for us. Complained he wanted to leave. Was going to actually leave on a free when his contract ran out. So we've ended up selling for 2.7 plus 50% of next sale. The next sign is our biggest ever sale. So McDowell. First off, Dolner at right back left. Now our right winger McDowell has left. For 80 million plus 50% of next sale. Now he has gone to FC Coln, which is annoying because we're going to be playing them in the Champions League. He had been capped 3 times by England when we end up selling him. But 80 million. I think it's like 60 million plus like 5 million when he plays one game, 5 million when he plays 5 England games. We're going to get the money, basically. It's not crazy installments we never see. But 80 million he's gone for. Orlando's gone to Starbeck on loan because, again, was complaining about not getting enough first-team football. Our 5th choice goalkeeper, Tharoop, has gone to Luton for 27k. It was very little money, but at the end of the day, he was complaining he didn't want to be here anymore. Understandable. Che Wright has gone on loan. Now, obviously, we picked him up for nothing. I've loaned him out where there's the potential. We're going to get about 80k a month. They're paying his wages. And they're going to pay a total of 2 million for him in the end. So, he has been a quick turnaround player. Brought in, sold 6 months later. Well, gone out on loan with the ability of selling him. Nolsa has gone to Djurgårdens in Sweden on loan. So again, just getting him out, getting him some first-team football. Per Pedersen, one of the goalkeepers we signed a few years ago. We've ended up getting rid of him to Sixborg. Again, came to us and said he wanted to leave. Again, people in the club said they were shocked we were holding on to him. Nulstrom and Kovacs have gone on loan. And then Gonzalez, our young Argentine, well, young, he's 25 now, defensive midfielder. He was the rock in our defensive midfield. We've ended up having to sell him for 10 million plus 50% of next sale. I'm really disappointed by it. I really didn't want to sell him. But he wanted to leave. I said no. And again, the problem we've got is our club is at that level where when players kick up a fuss, the players then all box together and say, we're really disappointed with your treatment of him. And our form would start to drop off. So for me, if a player doesn't want to be here, I let you go. I will sign replacements. I will make our team better. You will want to come back, is basically how my attitude works. So 141 million has gone out, our biggest ever outs. But let's look at some of the players then we've gave faces to. First off, youngster Naldo from Brazil comes in to strengthen our youth team. Maybe can develop into a good player, maybe not, but comes in. The replacement for our right back. So you look, and Dolner went to Tottenham for 29 million. For 3 million, we replaced him with Juan Carlos Tejada. He is an English Panama right back, and he is very, very talented. Now, I need to hold my hands up. I've signed someone who can't play for us till next season. He can't play for more than 2 teams in one season. So I made a slight mistake there. But it does give him time to settle in before he plays some games. Let's look at it like that. But comes in, 19 years old, 3 million. I think he's a good signing. Mentally fantastic. Aggression, bravery. Decisions isn't the best, but determination's okay. Positioning, teamwork, work rate, really good. Good stamina for up and down the wing. I think he's a good player. I do think he's a good player. Coming in from Copenhagen is Storgard. He's again another great player who has a lot of potential. 18 years old, comes in playing our youth team. Can be on the wing or striker or attacking mid. I think he can develop well for £1 million. I think it's worth a punt. Now, a defender who I've been following since the age of 16 is Andreas Scholdermoos. 18 years old now, very, very talented. Ended up paying 4 million for him, which is fair price. I think I would have paid more. I think he has a lot of potential, 6'3". He's having a season in our youth team, then he'll move up into our B team, and then hopefully up in our first team. I think he has that ability. For 4 million, very happy with that. Henrik Cernes, I think, is a very good player. He's going to play in our youth team this year, but I think straight away I want to move up in our first team. He is playing for our youth team, but he has played for our B team as well, so they see the ability in him as well. Very, very talented central midfielder, and we do actually need more depth in that position. So for 1.5 million, I think that's a very good signing. This is the striker I spoke about bringing in, who is coming in with the potential of just moving on a free transfer from Nottingham Forest, Ian Watson. And I think he looks a very, very good player. Value between 3.3 and 4.5. Could be very, very good. 28 years old. But I think he's only going to be with us for about 12 months. And I'm going to move him on for probably about 2.5, 3 million. And we've done that, say, 3 times at that point. And that's going to be over 11, 12 million we've brought in. And when we are so close to the line each season because of our expenditure, them kind of deals do come back with a lot of praise. Now, Alexander Back. This is a player who I've been trying to sign since he came through the intakes at Bromby at the age of 15. We ended up picking him up on a free transfer. His contract ran out and he was let go. Unambitious personality I don't like. But all in all, I think he's a very good left-back. Determination is poor, but I just think he's talented. And we paid nothing for him, and he has a value of up to 7.5 million. So, if he doesn't develop how I hope, get out the club. Thank you for the probably, 5 million? We'll look at the profit. Next player as well, coming in on a free. This signing is due to the fact that Tejeda can't play for 6 months. How did I do that? So, Alexandre Pancedas, a 36-year-old Portuguese right-back who has a lot of tattoos. He comes to us from Manchester City, where he's been there for a few years. And he physically isn't the best, but he is 36 years old. But he's come in on a 5-month contract. And honestly, I think on a 5-month contract, I think it was a no-risk deal. Honestly, because he's going to come in, he's going to play every game in the Champions League, etc. for the rest of the season and just give us that good right back, and then next year we've got that young English guy coming through. Then finally, 135k, another player who I do think will end up just moving on. 135k, valued up to 4.3 million, central defender from Brazil. Very, very talented player. But I gave the players faces, so let's have a look, and I want you to tell me, do these players look how you thought they would? So first off, Michael Meng, been with the club since 2036, apart from a couple of years in Cardiff. Who'd have thought he had long hair? Who'd have thought it? Beautiful. Mark Quadson, who's been on the bench at the minute, looks like a cheeky chappy, doesn't he? Who'd have thought he would look like that? 24 years old now. By the way, some clubs were sniffing around him and he was getting upset. I think we came to the agreement if a bid of 27.5 million came in, I'd sell him. But I'd rather not sell him, and we do have a 3-year extension on him, so I am willing to put my foot down as long as people don't kick off. Sterler, he looks like how I imagine Sterler would have looked. Mishan doesn't look like I thought he would look. I thought he would have been a bit more tanned, but okay. I know some people in the comments did say they thought he had Israeli descent with his name. But yeah, Midskogen, that's how I imagine Midskogen would have looked. Surely. Hell, I mean, I'm going with that. We'll take that. Mufasa looks exactly how I would imagine Mufasa to look. Who else? We've got Lethal Scarra. It's not how I imagine Lethal Scarra to look, is it? It looks like Harry Styles. Our Lethal Scarra is actually Harry Styles. Who'd have thought it? Is anybody else? Rigsetter. See, he looks like the type of player who would never complain and be in your club for 50 years. Just looks like it. So, we're going to end the episode by looking at the finances then. So, we have 212 million in the bank. Financial fair play, we are looking at ending the period at 125 million profit. Now, bear in mind, a year ago, we were close to failing it. I'm happy with that. Because we are getting in a position now where in a couple of years' time, I'm hoping we are going to be building the Bram Ellison Stadium. That's my hope, is before this save ends, AB will move into a new, bigger, better stadium named after our manager. Thank you for watching. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman, and I'll see you at the end of the season.